Well, hello, everybody.
Hi,
My name is Brian Martin,
and I'm Jennifer Martin.
and this is our preview um, broadcast of a brand new series that Jennifer and I are doing called Better Together with
With
Love.
love.
Yeah. So, Jennifer and I have a fantastic life story, and it's so. It might seem like I'm bragging and boasting a little bit, sweetheart, but we're rich in love.
We are, and you oftentimes say we're relationship billionaires.
Yes, relationship billionaires, not money billionaires, but we're rich in love. We've been married for a long time. I won't tell you exactly how many years, because you might ask me if I went to high school with Moses or something like that. But we've been married a long time, and we've had some really great times, and we've had some really challenging times as well.
We have.
So, this video blog, which we're calling Better Together with Love, is our desire to share our riches, our relationship riches, with you, because we know that relationships need help.
Well, we also know that relationships are one of the very hardest things to achieve greatness at. Relationships are hard every day.
Yes, especially during this time in America. It's 2020. Today is September 26th, and we're still in the middle of the COVID-19. We've got political and
Yes.
social unrest, and there's economic concerns, and we're seeing a lot of people that and hearing about a lot of people that are struggling in many different areas.
And I think the emotions. So for me, right now, what a perfect time for people to come together and to figure out how to strengthen and grow their relationship because that's really what we have.
So So over the years, Jennifer and I have shared a lot of different ways to help relationships, and we use a model to help guide us. And I developed this model many years ago, and it's called the home model. And the home model is a concept that we like to share with you over time, and it includes different aspects of it. But let me just tell you that there are 8 different aspects to our home model and explain how they work. The first is the mindset part of it, the thing that gives us the energy to sustain a relationship, not just for a long period of time, but for the quality of the relationship. Don't you think that's more important than how long the relationship lasts?
I do. It's not fun to be in a long relationship where there's no quality, no love, no affection, no kindness.
Right? So one of the things that we're concerned about is helping people sustain their emotional connection, especially during this particular time. So with a home model, the first 4 elements that have to do with the mindset is love. And we use the acronym LOVE to guide us with this part of the model. And so the acronym LOVE begins with the L, and the L stands for
Little things.
little things. And so little things are really important. In fact, I would imagine that maybe 90% of how we're able to sustain our quality relationship is directly related to the little things that we do together. Little things like
Well, kind thoughts to begin with.
kind thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
kind words, kind actions.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is a little kiss. That's a little thing, and but it's really powerful. So the O in love stands for oxytocin, and oxytocin is a brain chemical. And what does it do?
It bonds us together.
It's a binding agent,
Mm-hmm.
and you can read all about oxytocin. Just do a search and find about oxytocin. It's an amazing thing, and it will help your emotional connection. And so the way that I see helping people develop their emotional connection is with 6 specific actions. And so over time we'll be sharing with you what those specific actions are.
I think one of the actions, though, that's important just to begin with is that touch is so important. And right now, we have in this COVID period of time, have stopped touching people as much. So that'll be a good segment to talk about.
Yes, it will. So, touching is a physical touching. You're talking about physical touching.
I am like
Yeah.
a pat,
A pat or a
a
hug.
handshake, even.
Yeah, or a kiss.
Mhm.
We should stop doing that, I
And we
suppose. and and so that's the O, and then the V in love stands for victory, and this has to do with the problem-solving mode in our relationship and how we solve problems.
Well, and I think that every relationship there are problems, and sometimes most often it's the outside forces that create the problem,
Yeah.
not the inside force.
Right, that's right. As a matter of fact, if there's distress in your relationship, I can pretty much guarantee that it has to do with the stress that you're experiencing in life. And so right now, especially with COVID, we've noticed that, well, everybody's talking about how drinking is going up. Alcohol sales are going sky high. And that's because more people are drinking during this time. And they're drinking because they're feeling the pressure. We're drinking more because we're feeling the pressure and we're looking for ways to escape. So that's the O in love is figuring out how to solve problems.
The V.
The V, how we solve problems together. And the E in love stands for?
Well, it actually stands for eternity, and it's the purpose that we find in life.
Exactly,
Together.
yeah. It's the meaning and the purpose that we find together. And I can document 4 gifts that provide us purpose throughout our lives, through every area of our lives, every aspect, every era of our lives. So we'll be sharing with you a little bit about that too. And so that's the love part. And that's the part that keeps us moving. It's the energy. It's what keeps us going in a relationship. And then there are the 4 pressures that we have to master in our life. And when we master these 4 pressures, we can sustain and grow, and we can have a quality relationship. And the 4 pressures, you probably can guess what a few of them are. But the first one is
Finances.
it's money.
Mm-hmm.
It's the economy. And so, wow, with everything that's going on in the world right now, finances are a huge concern. And so we have specific skills in mind to help people to grow in controlling and mastering their money.
And I think a lot of people are just fearful to look at their money, and so that's going to be one of the things we talk about is what's holding us back from actually looking at the money we have.
Right. So we want to take you from being survivors financially to being philanthropists. And so we want to share with you. You don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to have a lot of money. In fact, you can be poor and you can be a philanthropist. And we like to share with you how that helps you control the stress and the anxiety about money in your life. So the next area, the next stressor that we have is your family of origin, people who you're close with that are outside of your home. In your home, you have a family that's there. In our home, we have Jennifer's mother and Jennifer and I in our home. And so there's a dynamic that goes on there. It's associated with that. And that's one thing. But the other pressure is the pressure from outside of the home. And that would be from extended family, from friends, and from your community.
I think an example of that is oftentimes right now there are so many blended families, and there's also families that aren't blended but have obligations and to people outside of their home, their friends or their family. And sometimes that creates a tension between the people in the home.
Oh, big time.
I think of Christmas and how oftentimes people say, well, we really didn't get to enjoy a Christmas at our house because we had to run to this parent's house and this parent's house and this parent's house and this parent's house, and then we had to run over and see grandma, and everyone's kind of disjointed, and so instead of being able to see everyone in one place, it becomes difficult. And that can create family tension.
And so we're going to teach you or share with you how becoming a leader in your community is better than being a victim of a dysfunctional family or a community relationship. And so leadership is a skill that we want to share with you about. The third pressure that a lot of people feel is health and
Yes.
wellness. Like right now, my brother-in-law has just had a quadruple bypass, and a lot of people have diabetes. There's just a ton of health issues that are happening
Well, and
in people's lives now. Even the abuse of alcohol
or
is an issue,
drugs,
or drugs, yeah, is
or
a
mental illness.
mental illness, yeah.
All of those can affect health, and it can put a pressure on the family.
It's a tremendous stress on a family. If you know anybody who's had a family who's had mental illness, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, even mood disorders like depression or anxiety, the pressure that exerts on a family is awful. So, what we want to do is help people to achieve, to go from disease to wellness.
You know, Brian, in all of these, the interesting thing is when you have someone in your home or in your family, or that impacts your life, that can also affect the other areas, the finances, and it can also affect the family relationships. And so none of these can all stand separate, and yet they can all impact everything else that adds pressure to the family, to the home.
I know. I know. So we'll be talking about that. And then the last piece, the eighth piece, which is going to inform our time together, is culture. And specifically how culture is shaping people in ways that they don't know about. And so that's a big deal. Hey, you know what? Jennifer's going to share with you a little bit about culture. I'm making bread this morning, and I just heard my dinger go off. And so I'm going to go turn the dinger off, and I'll be right back. And you want to tell them a little bit about culture?
Yes, I think the important thing is that oftentimes people think that culture shapes us, not that we shape the culture. And so I think that that's a distinction that we're going to want to help you understand. I like it when you say culture is a tool, because I truly believe that we can use culture and we can do it strategically.
That's right. Culture is more powerful than you ever imagined. It actually shapes how you view yourself in the world. And there's another aspect to life that is not like culture at all, because culture is always invented by people, but there's another aspect of life that's stronger and more powerful than even culture. And it's a totally different animal. It doesn't even fall in the same category. But when you focus on this one particular aspect of life, which is already inside of you, it was built there from the beginning and passed down to you from your ancestors. When you tap into this aspect of life, it helps you to control and to deal with the insidious power of culture. Do you know what the thing is?
I think I do.
What do you think it is?
I think it's love.
It's love. Love is the most powerful thing in the world. And that's what we want to talk to you about during our time together. Jennifer and I are better together in love. And we have a lot of wisdom to share with you about life and how you can master every aspect of your life, and it will create this incredible sense of peace and love and joy that will just blow your mind. Let us tell you a little bit about ourselves, okay? Jennifer, tell us a little bit about you. What do you do right now in the world?
I am a real estate broker, and you and I and two of our kids own a company, and we have about 186 agents that work with us and 5 staff members, and I love what I do. I love teaching people how to work. I'm passionate about that. I think that work gives us a purpose. I think that work gives us the ability to take care of our families, and it gives us the ability to give to our community.
So, the backstory is this: that Jennifer and I were we went to high school together, and so we've been together a long time, and we became parents unexpectedly and very early, before Jennifer even finished high school. And so, one of the things that we did is that we grew a family, and while we were growing a family, Jennifer didn't get a chance to go to college or do anything like that. And what she did do is she discovered her gift, and she developed that gift into a powerful skill, and then she developed that skill into a phenomenal talent. And that talent now differentiates her in the community. People know Jennifer as a powerful businesswoman. And as a powerful businesswoman, it's her passion and her desire to help people grow their own business and have a fantastic life like we have. And so that's the backstory. So Jennifer is a powerful, now she looks like just a nice little lady here, doesn't she? But what you need to know is that she's a powerful businesswoman who has a tremendous amount of ability to help people with her gifts and her skills and her talents. And we're fortunate to be able to tap into her wisdom during our time together on Better Together with Love.
So I think you should tell a little bit about you, and then I'd like to add something.
So all of my adult life I've been in ministry. All of my education has been theological in nature. I do have a master's degree in marriage and family counseling, and but that's just one of the things. But my entire life has been focused on helping people in congregations and in hospitals, where I was a hospital chaplain or a pastor, a founding pastor or a senior pastor of 3 churches here in Fresno, California. And during that time, I got to work with people literally from cradle to grave. And through every transition in life and through every difficulty of life, I was there to help and to watch and to encourage people. And I also developed my gifts and my skills and my talents. And they are what differentiates me and my community. If you ask somebody about me, they would say, oh, he's so focused on love. And I have been for a long time. And so that's what I bring to the table.
Well, and I think it's really neat because the relationship aspect that you have mastered and that you have studied, and that which takes on even more than just our relationship. It takes on the thought process, the mindset, the way we think. All of that ties in building healthy relationship. And then you add the financial piece and the working piece, which I add. It really is a nice fit together that we have.
I just don't think you'll find anybody. I know that there are other relationship billionaires in the world. I know that there are many of them, and I've met them, and we've talked, and we shared. And but I don't know anybody who has the combination of gifts and skills and talents and tools that can help just about every family.
I know.
And so it's our privilege to be able to do that.
To share it and to maybe help each one of you in one little way. We'd love to be a part of your life that way.
So we'll be doing this with you every Saturday morning, and we're aiming for around 9 o'clock. But if you don't catch the live video, that's okay. We will be bringing on guests, and with technology now, we can bring in a Zoom component, and so we can, even though we're still COVID-19 and we have to have social distancing, you notice that we have no social distance. It's because we're joined together at the hip.
We are.
Because there's social distancing, we'll be able to bring guests on who are specialists in various areas. You want to hear about specialists in finances. You want to hear about specialists that have to do
With health.
with health. You want to hear about community leaders and how they have taken a dysfunctional aspect of society and transformed it. And you want to hear about culture and how culture works. And so we're going to be bringing guests on, and we'll be using technology to help with that. And that's going to be wonderfully fantastic part of what we're going to do.
We're really looking forward to sharing this time with you.
Yeah. So let me ask you one question, and that is, if you had one thing that was most important this morning, because it might be different tomorrow morning or different from yesterday, what is one thing that you want to have people know and understand about what we're going to be doing together?
I think the one thing that I want people to know is that it's based out of our desire to help others and to share love and to help them. I think love is kind of, it's in us, right? And yet sometimes it's hard to know how to use that love and how to show that love in today's world. So I think that's one thing I'd like them to know.
Awesome. And she's so humble, isn't she? But here's one of the things that I want you to know. Real billionaires, financial billionaires, many of them have given a giving pledge. And in that giving pledge, they say that they're going to give away their wealth to the world, either before they die or as part of their will. And I think that's really, really great that they would do that. And if Warren Buffett were to call you up and say to you, hey, let's get together for lunch because I want to share with you some of the things that you can do to make yourself financially stronger, what would you do? Would you accept Warren Buffett's invitation to go to lunch?
Man, I would.
Sure you would. Well, here you have some relationship billionaires who are going to be sharing with you some of the wisdom that we've gained over the years. And I bet you've got a few questions about relationships. And we want to get together with you for a cup of coffee every Saturday morning. And that, I think that would be a blast. So we'll hope that you'll be putting in questions and comments as we continue to grow and develop in this. Now, the one thing that I would like to share with you today, and that is this, that in spite of all the problems that are going on in the world today, the COVID-19, the social unrest, the political struggles that are going on in the world, the financial difficulties that people are having, there's a long, long, long track record of people who have survived this well by the power of love. Because, in my opinion, love is the most powerful thing in the universe. I'm not kidding. It's the most powerful thing in the known universe. And we would like to help you tap into that power. So look for us on Saturday mornings about 9 o'clock. And we'll share this on our Facebook pages and other places. And so, Jennifer, as soon as we get done recording this, I'm going to let you share it on your page.
Perfect.
And then I'm going to share it on a couple pages also. So you'll have plenty of opportunities. And we'll also forward you the YouTube link to all of my videos that I think you might enjoy. All right, well, that's it for today. My name is Brian Martin.
And I'm Jennifer Martin.
And we're better together
with love.
With love. Doesn't that sound great? God bless you. We love you, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye. Don't go away yet. Ready? 1, 2, 3.